What's up with it? Been a minute since I did a word of the day. Anyways, I wanted to talk to you today about God's rest. I was going through Hebrews 3 and 4. I'm going to go through chapter 4 a bit and then, break it down so you understand. Helped me to understand God's rest. How's my hair look? My hair looks crazy, yo. I got my hat on. Cold out, gotta have a hat on, you know. God's promise of entering his rest still stands, so we ought to tremble with fear that some of you might fail to experience it. We tremble with fear because some of you will fail to experience it, to experience God's rest. Like that sucks, man, not to experience the rest. What is God's rest? God's rest is where a state or a place where God manages his creation that's free from chaos and disorder. That's God's rest. So a state where you're in, a place you're in where you are in God's rest and you can just trust that God has it, because God does have it. You trust that he has it and you don't have to worry. There's no worry. For this good news that God has prepared this rest had been announced to us just as it was to them. But it did them no good because they didn't share the faith of those who listened to God. Those who listened to God. They didn't share that same faith because they hardened their hearts, right? For only we who believe can enter his rest. As for the others, God said, "In my anger I took an oath, they will never enter my place of rest, even though this rest had been ready since he made the world." So who are these people that can't enter his rest? How come? This is what the Holy Spirit says, going back to Hebrews 3. Today when you hear his voice, don't harden your hearts as Israel did when they rebelled, when they tested me in the wilderness. There, your ancestors tested and tried my patience, even though they saw my miracles for 40 years. So I was angry with them, and I said, they saw his miracles for 40 years now. They hardened their hearts. Their hearts always turned away from me. They refused to do what I tell them. So in my anger, I took an oath. They will never enter my place of rest. Them, those that harden their hearts, disobey God. God always knows what's best, so it's best to obey him, right? And he loves us, so he wants the best for us. So God's rest is there for people to enter. But those who first heard this good news failed to enter because they disobeyed God. Failed to enter because they disobeyed God. So God set another time for entering his rest, and that time is today. God announced this through David much later in the words already quoted. Today when you hear his voice, don't harden your hearts. Don't harden your hearts. Have a soft heart and accept the truth. Believe the truth. Be open to hear the truth. There is a special rest still waiting for the people of God. So let us do our best to enter that rest. But if we disobey God, as the people of Israel did, we will fail. We will fall. Nothing in all creation is hidden from God. Everything is naked and exposed before his eyes, and he is the one to whom we are accountable. We are all accountable to God. And that's great that we are accountable to God because he's the best judge. He judges our hearts. But that's why we need God, to help us be the right people, for him to sanctify us, right? We got evil intentions. We got wrong intentions. We need God to help us. We need the Holy Spirit. We need to accept God in our lives to help lead us in the right way. So then, since we have a great high priest who has entered heaven, Jesus, the Son of God, let us hold firmly to what we believe. So let us come boldly to the throne of our gracious God. There we will receive his mercy, and we will find grace to help us when we need it most. That's where we can receive it. God's rest. A state, a place where God is managing his creation that's free from disorder and chaos. Just imagine that, where we can trust God and not worry. Enter his rest. Don't harden your hearts. That's the word for today. Hope you all have a good one.